I'm here by myself. If you want to talk, I'm here. If you want to make something. If you want to make... Thank you for doing that. Feeling a little creeped right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling like very odd. Not all paranormal investigators understand how to work with the dead, but as a death witch, I understand it well. I'm Nicole Nightfall, and since early childhood, I've been mastering how to work with and speak with the dead, and now I'm documenting it all.
It was like literally a person standing right there.
Join me as I explore well-known and even unknown locations by myself or with carefully selected teams, including seasoned paranormal investigators, seasoned practitioners, and even new ones, as they have their first experiences with ghosts. The following content contains mature themes and language. Triggering content and subject matter is discussed. Sensitive viewers are hereby advised. This content contains flashing lights. Headphone users be cautioned, there may be abrupt changes in volume. The following investigation is conducted by a professional. Do not attempt, viewer discretion is advised. This was my first time walking into Silvio's or even being on the property. I've heard of Silvio's before but knew nothing of the story here or the history. I have heard from other psychic mediums that it's very haunted, that the attic especially has a lot of activity, but other than that, I went in, as I usually do, blind, if I can help it. With my certain sensitivities, if you will, call it being a psychic medium, I prefer to call myself a psychic channel, whatever label you want to give me. Sometimes before I go to these locations, I get a lot of information from spirit before I come here. That's right, sometimes the spirits will come to me ahead of time when they know I'm coming to the location, and Silvio's Villa had me in a chokehold since the night before I got here. I had a male spirit come to me who was very upset, who claimed that he was being accused of things he didn't do, and he said his name to me, what sounded like Ray. The name was a little off, and you'll see where this gets corrected, but I started recording the second I stepped foot onto the property because out of this window, I swear I saw a little girl staring at me, silhouetted in some sort of mist, staring right down at me from the second I pulled in. And I know the shot's a little spotty, but I was desperate to catch what I thought I saw and decided to document everything I was feeling and picking up walking into the building. I'm definitely picking up on a suicide or something. This is like, the energy here is really intense. And look, I know that it's hard to take me on my word for it, but y'all are just gonna have to trust me that I got most of this information ahead of time just from simply this one spirit showing up. And at this time during Halloween season, I was filming investigations back to back to back, sometimes 2 a week. So there was no way I even had time to research anything about Silvio's before I went there. And shortly after, Victoria met me, and she's the one filming this, and Rosie here is going to fill us in on what we need to know so far.
Rosie, so I kind of came in blind to this, and so did Victoria. I was strongly picking up on suicide and murder. I just felt like, and I'm getting like an R name, like a Ray or something like that with this. So I don't know if that's even for this or maybe a location that's coming up, because sometimes I say it is for other locations, but I just feel like especially that spirit, he's very upset. Like people have the wrong idea.
Right.
So I don't know. So am I?
Yo, you're right on
Okay.
the path.
Okay, because he's been hanging around me all day. So
Wow.
I'm like, who is this? Okay. Okay. So tell
Roy
me.
Vail.
It's Roy. Okay.
And we're in his room.
Okay. Stop
So
it.
that's probably why.
And is that this? Because when I sat down, right, Victoria, I said, I was like,
Yes,
something.
there's a man
Did it
in
happen to him like here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So table 24 is right where he was the final suicide in the building. Yes. His wife was murdered. So murdered was also on your list.
Okay.
There was other suicides of the sons. Yes. And then there was a young girl that had a dyslexia. And I guess back then in the 20s, it was kind of frowned upon to have someone like dyslexic in the family. So they hid her or kept her in the attic.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, I'm creeped out now at myself. I'm sorry. So because he's like coming through very strongly for me because he's talking about the murder. Was he obviously, were they accusing him of doing the murder and he didn't do it? Like,
I believe so.
Okay.
I think that's what happened. I don't know too much because I don't really dig into this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Because I do work here and I try to keep my peace
Yeah.
with everything. So
If you haven't noticed, I'm very fidgety with my hands, and that's because I feel very anxious with the energy that's building, and now you find out why.
So when we had come in here, you had pointed and I was like, I don't know any. Okay. Oh, wait, somebody's messing with us. Somebody's doing it, right?
Shockingly, we haven't even been here more than 20 minutes, and in this interview with Rosie alone, what happens to the lights completely throws me for a loop that I think somebody's even pranking me. Right when I'm ready to ask a very difficult question, watch as these lights blast all the way up on their own and then shut off entirely.
So when we had come in here, you had pointed and I was like, I don't know any. Okay. Oh, wait, somebody's messing with us. Somebody's doing it, right?
no, these lights are actually right behind you. The lights are right behind
And
you.
Victoria's not up against the wall. She is standing right.
She's holding a mic and a camera.
Literally, there's
It's still
no
recording,
way.
right? Because sometimes it
Yeah.
stop.
See, it's right there. That's how you
Oh, it's still going.
turn it on.
So it's so it's like a touch sensor. You would say the light.
You have to push
You
it.
have to push it. Okay.
Look, this is all the way up. This is off. And this is like the dimmer.
Started playing with the lights. So,
Well, I think because we're attracting it, right? We're talking.
well, we're talking about, and I think what I'm about to ask is maybe why. So when we came in here and I had no idea, we went over there and we'll show a clip of this probably now as I'm editing, but that you're like, there's the gunshot or the gun hole in the ceiling, and
It's it is literally. Right.
oh, I see it.
You can see the rest of the ceiling is pretty well done,
Yeah.
except for this, and we can't ever get it covered full enough.
Wow.
And there's multiple.
Okay. So those are all gunshots or like shrapnel, stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay.
He was a gunsmith. He possibly was taking his anger out and would just shoot the ceiling until one day he decided to
Just
do it
do
to
it.
himself.
Wow. Well, that's tragic. So we're going to be eating dinner at the table
Table
where
24.
Roy, I'm going to keep calling him because when I was here, I was hearing Ray, but it's Roy. So if I say it's Ray, it's a mistake. But
Yeah.
I was close enough, I guess, off by one letter. But we're going to be sitting there. And what about, you were telling me about the bar a little bit. Can you tell me a little
Yes.
bit, like while we're here?
So how we have the restaurant also staged is we named each room on behalf of. So this is the Vail room. So this
Okay.
is for Mr. Vail.
Okay.
And then Ellis is the wife's room, which is next door. And then the bar, we kept the integrity of the copper. So we found a lot of copper here. So when we were constructing a bar, we decided to keep the integrity of the copper for Mr. Vail. So that's why we made a copper bar. And
Okay.
then you were telling me that, oh, interesting enough, copper.
Yeah, it amplifies. Yeah, it is a conductor. So if there is, I think even if it wasn't haunted, there would be something
Yeah.
that would amplify, even if it was human emotion
Right.
or whatever, you would probably feel. I don't know if people even get like maybe emotional in that room. I mean, I know alcohol is one thing, but I don't know if people behave erratically in there with drinking.
I can tell you for sure when people sit at the bar, like they'll be like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just got to chill. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." There's a couple of times too where I've closed up and I'd hear that, and like literally my spine would I just freeze, and then I'd just be like, "Nope, nope." So the little girl in the attic, so they were ashamed of her. So I guess when people would come or they wouldn't want anyone to see her, they kept her in the attic. So we kept dolls and Barbies and things like that there,
Okay.
just because we, like I said, want the peace. And I remember back when the neighbors called the cops and cops showed up, and then out of nowhere Frank would be like, "What's happening?" And then I would tell Frank, "I don't know." And then we would ask the cops. They're like, "Oh, we have to check upstairs. They said that there's a girl locked up and they saw her screaming in the window or something." And we were like, "What?"
I wish you were here when I got here because I started filming that window because I could have sworn I saw something.
2 months ago, I was closing the bar and there was like two other servers with me, and we were all waiting for each other to walk out together. And out of nowhere, Other people would be in this area, probably would be in this area. Probably this is in this area. Probably this is the first time that stuff just happened.
Yeah.
With you here.
Well,
That tracks.
So yeah, other than that, my experiences in the bar now in the Vail room. Thank you.
sure. Sorry to scare you a little more. But,
Yeah, that was weird.
yeah.
But
Okay, so they just made us some very fancy, and I feel like calling it pasta is like offensive, even though it's like literal actual pasta. Wild. So we're gonna try it.
I'm so
Obviously.
excited. It just came out of a cheese wheel, so my heart
It
is
was in a
pleased.
literal wheel of cheese.
This pasta I make, the name Tornarelli. I put inside fresh black truffle oil, and shove the pecorino romano cheese.
And the person who made it from Italy, so.
Every time I order for in Italy, in Abruzzo,
Okay, I can die.
I am so happy. I never.
I don't know about you, this is my favorite investigation so far. We haven't even investigated yet.
This is the nicest investigation we've ever done.
At our haunted table, as haunted friends, gathered together. We're sitting at the table
I'm in his seat.
where he unalived himself, Roy, who's been with me all day. But when I came here, I was drawn automatically to the attic window because I thought I saw something like a figure. And not like how you would see you and me. I just saw like a wispy, like white transparent
Yeah.
type thing. And I was like, okay, maybe it's just like the lights glaring, but I was very drawn to filming it. So that's what I did. And I went around outside. And what was crazy was, you know, I passed the full dining room, I passed everything else, and I was like, I want to shoot this room from the outside. And I zoomed in on this. So I was like, let me get some outside weird creeper stalker footage of like this room. And then I went out back and come to find out she tells us with the cameras off, and you said you saw something out there when we were in there.
Yeah.
I was drawn to the gazebo that was outside. And of course it's pretty, but it was like energetically, I was like, there's something going on out here too. What the hell is happening? And she informed us that somebody had lit themselves on fire outside one of the suns. The positives about this, though, is they say that there's no violent spirits, nothing bad has happened. That's asking Rosie, though. Of course, we have yet to speak to the owner, Frank, because they've owned this place for 30 years. It's their 30-year anniversary. But she says for the most part, they're fairly peaceful. They're active, but they're peaceful. So we're going to have a romantic, haunted, spooky dinner, just you and me.
Oh, the true love of my life.
Yes.
You and ghosts.
Yes, soulmates, all of us together sitting as one. Roy is welcome to join us, and I'm sure he already is. It's his place. He's allowed to do what he wants. So we're going to eat with Roy. Afterwards, we're going to investigate. So I'm excited.
Same here.
Well, that is unexpected.
you like fish, no?
Oh, yeah. I love this.
And fire.
Yes.
At this point, you may be wondering, okay, Nicole, when's the investigating coming in? We're waiting for the good stuff. But I can't not show all of the amazing things they do here. They were such gracious hosts. Everybody that works here and the owners are so kind. I just had to show some of what they offer because everything they do is made with love and it shows in this entire building. And shortly after we ate, Frank came to join us and sat with me. I wanted to ask him a few questions and get him on camera and just show you guys like how much he respects and cares for the spirits here. It's unlike any other location I've ever been to.
So I was kind of picking up on like a Ray or a Roy before we got here. So we got that. And in here, the lights dimmed as we were talking about it. And we have it on camera. It's like wild. Does that happen here a lot?
I mean, listen, I know that most people have their own stories. I definitely have my own. What I've noticed is when we will change for the seasons, once we start moving around the building, then all of a sudden we're told if we like things or don't like things. You know, there's more activity with things like that. You know, they make themselves known.
All right, so Victoria and I just had a lovely meal that they made, right?
It was so good. I literally can't eat another bite.
And they're so nice here. The owner, Frank, is so sweet. And we will be coming back to do a full investigation with it shut down. So if you hear people talking in the background, it's the kitchen staff closing up. It's everybody closing up. But we figured since we dined all night at Roy's table that we'd put the REM pod on it and just see if we get any answers while we're sitting here. All right. All right, Roy, thank you for letting us sit at your table tonight. It was amazing. I believe and would hope that you're happy with the owner that has been here for the last 30 years, him and his wife, and how they're taking care of you and honoring you and your wife and your family. If you're here, do you mind touching the red light and letting us know that you're here? Right in the middle of the table?
Right in front of me.
Is that red? Was that always blinking like that in the middle of the REM pod? Is that like extra one?
Oh, thank you.
Do you mind making the sound go off?
It just made a click. I've never heard that before. Just a click.
There it is.
Thank you, Roy.
Thank you, Roy. You can turn it off now. Oh, thanks. So I guess he's here. Okay.
Did you see the big tiramisu? Did you look at it?
I love tiramisu.
So she said that's like for 8, 10,
Sorry, Roy, I'm distracted. So, yeah, I figured you'd like that too. Do you like tiramisu too? He's like, can you focus on me, please? I'm sorry. Can you make them change different colors? Are you able to do that? If you want Victoria to get up, you could touch the light now and let us know. Do you want your table back? It amazes me that during this very quick session with the REM pod, how quickly the spirit responds. Move it on up. Do you want to sit there by yourself? If yes, can you hit the light? I was getting the very strong feeling as I was sitting here and it wasn't responding to this that he actually wanted, the spirit of Roy that is, wanted Frank the owner to come in, because I immediately picked up that he's very fond of Frank and his wife Valentina and even some of the servers here. So I had a very strong feeling that when Frank came back into the room, the REM pod would go absolutely insane. And what did you know it? When Frank came to walk in to tell us it's a wrap for the night, this is what the REM pod did. They know you, hey!
I get that all the time.
That was very enthusiastic. It hasn't been that enthusiastic, so.
It's one of the reasons why I ended up buying it.
Do you sit there ever with it, just you?
I have my spots in the place where I'll sit and I'll have my chats from time to time.
Yeah, I think he's like wanted you there instead of Victoria because it pretty much told her to get up out of the seat. So.
Your spot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to.
You know, everybody who's been here has left their mark on the building, and you know, I think that's maybe where the connection lies.
Yeah, absolutely. With day one being a wrap with Victoria at my side, I did return to Silvio's a couple weeks later during Halloween season still to do a follow-up investigation. However, when I was ready to turn the corner and come into the restaurant, a van decided to cross the double yellow line and hit my car. And before so many of you who are very much used to things like ghost adventures start to say, oh, this is something evil that is at Silvio's villa, I can tell you that that is nothing further from the truth. Do I think this was spiritually inflicted? Yes. Do I think it came from this location in particular? Absolutely not. It caused very minimal damage. I was okay. The other driver was okay. Everything was fine. It was just a minor inconvenience, but it also explains the dirt smudge on my forehead when I am investigating alone in the attic when I finally return to Silvio's villa. However, I will say that car accidents are very frequent. I've noticed with a lot of people in the paranormal field who do locations back to back to back. During this time, I was going nonstop with the paranormal, and before this van hit me, I saw the spirit of Richard Burgess, and if you saw the very first episode of this series, you know who that is. If you have any questions about this, leave it in comments and I'll do a storytime video. For now, let's head back to Silvio's where I'm alone investigating the attic. So this... Oh, number 7 just showed up on the numbers. Oh. Oh. I don't know if that was me or not because I'm moving. I'm up here by myself in the room where they would unfortunately keep their daughter, who is believed to have some sort of mental handicap. And they say she was dyslexic, and back then, they were very weird with, embarrassed by it. It just culturally wasn't as accepted. So we are up in the room where even when I first came here, I saw somebody in that window. I saw like a silhouette, and I filmed it outside in the B-roll. So I want to see if we can make communication, especially with the child spirit up here. Hi, Spirit. My name's Nicole. Hi, Spirit. My name's Nicole. I can't see you yet. Do you want to show yourself? I don't know if you get a lot of visitors up here, so I just thought I'd say hi. I wanted to come to you first, actually. How are you feeling that I'm up here? You can interact with any of these devices to communicate with me. I feel like you're going to touch that REM pod any second, that red light on the floor. Do you get a lot of visitors up here?
Interesting.
You're interesting. I'm here by myself. If you want to talk, I'm here. If you want to make something. Thank you for doing that. This is by far the most clear evidence of an orb I've ever captured. This energy field hits the envoy and sets it off. You could see it shift form, take translucency, and fall down onto the equipment, setting it off. This makes it far harder for anybody to dispute that it could be a bug or lint or anything. As you could see so far in the attic, there's been a lot of light anomalies, and this is the best one caught. Thank you for doing that. How do you feel? Neutral? I don't mean you any harm, thank you. Am I talking to the child spirit up here? If so, can you touch that red light again on the floor? You did such a good job. Do you want to talk with me? Roy, are you here? If you are, can you touch the red light? Please? Hello? Who are you? Are you okay up here? At this point, I hear with my weird little psychic brain that she thinks the light is too bright on the camera and it scares her. So I decide to turn it down. Let me turn this down a little bit because I feel like it's really bright. Oh, let's do that. Hi! Thank you so much. Thank you. Is that fun to play with? Do you hang out by the window a lot? Am I in your way sitting here? Something pushed? Oh, please don't push me. I've had one heck of a night. You're about to witness one of these moments where a psychic channel links up and I lip sync what's said through the spirit box. This is something that happens all the time where I'll say a word and spirit will repeat right after me. In this instance, it's happening at the same exact time and I don't even realize it. feel like I'm being watched over here. And it's okay, you can watch. Oh my god, did I just see something? Can you show yourself again? Although it didn't catch on camera, I could have sworn I saw a black figure walking in the corner of the room as if to hide. Yeah. Oh, hi. So I know a lot of things happened here. Thank you so much for touching that and letting me know you're here. Are you okay that I'm up here? Thank you. So the energy feels very good up here. Puzzled. I'm sorry, I'm confusing you. What about Roy? Just as I start to feel completely out of it, watch as these light anomalies go right into my head, shoot around me, and then out through the other side. Feeling a little creeped right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling like very odd. So if there are any spirits here, thank you so much for communicating, but please don't pull any energy from me. I appreciate it. Heard something. Heard something. Before I heard that tap, I felt the energy shift and a new spirit was present that I was not comfortable with. With the name Burgess coming through the spirit box, again being Richard Burgess, the face I saw with my accident, the serial killer spirit from Mid-Orange Correctional Facility, again go back and watch the first episode for context, I knew he was back. As a paranormal investigator or a psychic medium or anybody who works with the dead, you will absolutely get spirits that try to hitchhike on you, stick with you, or even try to drop off at other locations. I regularly spiritually cleanse, but considering, again, I was doing investigations back to back to back, I clearly did not do a well enough job. However, when this happens, I want you to watch what I do. And it is important to do this not to give the spirit attention and make sure that they do not latch on to any other location that they don't belong. With the confirmation from the spirit box, I immediately pivot and call forth the spirits back to this location to dominate the energy. Do you guys have fun up here?
Although now
Can you give me the name of
really is
the child that resides up here?
over to revenue.
Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you. Can you tell me your name?
Anything.
Can you tell me your name clearly, please?
Wait.
I'm waiting. What's the matter? Who's the male spirit? Who's the man? Let me get up and walk around. Is that okay? I feel like you're gonna show up over there. I really do. So we're here, still in the attic. The REM pod's getting activity. Do you want me to shut the light off? It's definitely feeling a little strange. Hi, are you in here? Okay, I'm out of that room if you want to touch the red light again. Yes, you can. Only if you want to. I think I'm going to leave from up here. Did you want to talk, say anything before I go downstairs? Okay, turn that light off if you want to try anything really quick. And let me know you're here. Am I scaring you up here? Get behind. Okay, I'm gonna go downstairs now, alright? Thank you for talking with me. After spending an hour up here in the attic by myself, I started to get a little creeped out and decided to move on back downstairs. And as I went to go leave, I started to feel like something rushed me. Oh, Jesus. Felt like something rushed up on me just there. Please don't do that. And now we're back to the dining area at table 24, the same table we were at earlier. Joining me shortly will be Valentina, Frank's wife and co-owner of Silvio's. Silvio himself will also be joining us shortly, as well as the server from earlier, Antonio, and another server, Domenico. All of them are Italian, and the accents get pretty thick. If I feel like it's hard for listeners to understand, I will caption it. If you're here, can you touch the red light on the table? No, there she is from upstairs. So I feel like he's very leery about people who do what I do. Like he does not like it. It's nothing like personal, like he tells me, but he like does not trust like that his story is gonna get portrayed correctly. Roy, I promise I won't give you a negative spin. I just want to tell your story. I've heard so many stories about this place. Yep, over the years. And I'm not going to lie, I heard a lot of negative things, but I'm getting the impression that all of that's BS. Thank you. Yeah, I hear that.
And I never believed in any of this
Yeah.
until he literally like made sure that I knew she, everybody were here, which made me like, I can't even believe it that now I believe in ghosts, to make you understand.
No, what's that say? Scared. And he's heavier, so he's got like a more, I don't want to like word this incorrectly, but like a heavier, but it's like a depression type. It's not like an anger because he's frustrated.
I feel like it's that, also not that. I feel like it's more like he's upset, if anything, because he left and for whatever it happens to his wife and to his sister. But I don't think he's mad. I never felt it.
But like frustrated though, right? Yeah, that's correct. Like what like he doesn't want to hurt anybody, but I feel like he also is like take no crap from nobody. Like he's very much a man of his time, I would imagine. Yeah. So, and I do feel like he is very territorial. I know it's his room, but like that table is like I feel like picky about who sits there.
I feel like it depends who's talking about him.
Gotcha.
Because my server was saying to me, Friday, yes, he said to me that he was talking with few people here, and this room was closed off for the night. He was here with those 3 people. They were talking about him, and all of a sudden, those people, they started laughing, and the light went off. I didn't see that. My
This light, these lights.
this light.
Do you know that? Did the manager tell you what happened when I was interviewing her?
No.
The lights blasted all the way up on their own.
Come in here, you had pointed, and I was like, I don't know any. Okay. Oh, wait, somebody's messing with us. Somebody's doing it, right?
Oh,
Just sitting.
I feel
Yeah.
like my husband has such a good deal with them.
He has such a connection with
He
them.
really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
He really does. Talks to them like,
Yep.
like
Yeah.
they will be his friend, his buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's very excited about that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we like Frank, huh? Is that your buddy, Roy?
I like
Yeah.
him too.
Thanks, Roy. Roy, do you have anything you want to say in regard to your name or your legacy or what happened here? Do you want to clear your name? I feel like he's like, don't ask me. Just marking that somebody's whistling when I listen back, so I'm not like it's a spirit whistling. Hi. Roy, is that still you?
What's that? Red light?
Yeah. You ever see like a cat or a dog, like maybe something on the floor that goes by? Because I think I just saw something.
I remember I used to have, when I came here, I didn't speak much of English, and I was simply a bus girl to get me back. And I see this little boy playing on the floor right here in the center, and I thought the little boy fell down. So I said, "Oh, you're okay? Do you need help?" And the little boy says, "Oh, I'm playing with the cat." So I looked at him and said, "I'm sorry."
Yeah. I just thought I saw something like scurry past. That's why I was like, what is this?
I did hear other people works here, like the guys in the kitchen, usually they close down with me, and they said that they saw the little,
Like a little shadow go quickly.
little
Yeah.
shadow quickly go to the other side.
Yeah. Did you have somebody in here trying to like cleanse with smoke?
Yes, they did have that when they first got the place, when they did find out that it was with spirits, let's
Okay.
put it that way. And but even that, the priest did say that they were not bad spirits, and that's why
Right.
they just.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of like laughed at it. Like he's like, I laughed at it. It was more like he was like waving it, like it was like smoke. Like he didn't
Not
care.
even that,
Yeah.
like the priest literally said, they say they just would like to say,
It knows you. It gets so excited when any of you walk in. It's like, that's what it was like when Frank came in, so it recognizes you. Yeah.
Where is it? They don't really know.
If you recognize him, can you touch that red light? Yep. There you go. Thank you so much. Thank you, Roy. With the investigation with Table 24, both nights that we did it, I think it's obvious how much the spirit of Roy Vail really connects with the servers here and the owners. Joining myself, Antonio, and Valentina was Silvio himself, who the villa is named after, as well as another server named Domenico. And with all of us together, we decide to go to the Ellis room, I believe this room is called. If not, it is next to the Ellis room. It's one of the dining rooms to the right of the building if you're facing the front. And I was drawn to this room when I was here on my first night and decided to check this out with everybody.
This lady said, she called her up and said, listen, I always see you every time that you walk away, see somebody, a lady with a long black dress. What?
I have that on camera. That's what I saw her in a long black dress, like a long, like fluffy, like floofy
Right,
on the bottom.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And she was standing
The
there. It
follow-
scared me because I came in and I thought it was somebody standing there, and it was. Because I saw a woman standing. There's a lot going on. I was like overstimulated. Yeah.
And then it disappeared in front of your
Yeah,
eyes.
it was like I blinked and it was gone. Yeah. Can you speak clearer, please?
From spirit.
Spirit. Do you remember when the priest came in?
2 times.
2 times?
One time when I bought the place,
That's what she told me.
the whole damn place it went crazy.
Yeah, because I feel like they didn't like...
He doesn't like
Right,
priests
because I heard him...
he thinks that I want to get married.
Okay. Well, nobody's going to get rid of you. Quite the opposite.
You want to try one day to bring a priest in?
To bring what?
Priest?
To
And
bring
see
a
what kind of...
So, this is a lot to get into, but with my spiritual path too, we have what's called a court of spirits, and I have a priest in my spiritual court, and I'm actually a descendant from a priest and a nun, children of the ordained that broke the vows. So I have that, and I wear this is dedicated to that spirit. So sometimes it either provokes or depending how they feel about priests, because that's what's coming with me. So that could be a factor, but I feel like they're especially talking about the priest, like that incident, and they might be afraid of that happening again, because I told that to you before, like they're leery of all this because they don't trust all of it. Yeah.
What else do you know about him? It's doing something or whatever.
With Roy?
Yeah.
I think he's just frustrated. I was telling her, like, if anything, that's the only negative thing. He's not out to hurt, but again, I think this stuff makes him kind of reserved, and he's a little frustrated, and he's afraid, I think, his story is going to get distorted. I think he's afraid of his legacy being twisted. If you guys are preserving it well, but he's afraid of things like this warping his... Yeah, thinking that he's some bad guy who killed somebody. Yeah. And he doesn't want to go anywhere, so he's got a few fears with the living. I find it very interesting that we're talking about priests and the spirit spheres, especially Roy's spheres, and then it's saying Domenico's name. I don't hear his name come through at the time, but it becomes very apparent why they said his name swiftly following the priest talk. I do not hear my own priest spirit come through at all. I know his voice very well. He has not come through at all during this investigation. So it becomes very obvious to me that he's accusing one of us of being a priest. And I think we found who the spirits believe to be a priest in this moment. Have you had experiences here?
Yeah. I was restocking the room where we were sitting before.
Uh-huh.
And I felt chills in my back as if somebody was touching my shoulders.
Or that they're interested to whatever.
Sad. It says sad. The candle's not going to hurt you. It's fake. I feel like you're fine. That's you. It's picking up you. That's why it goes off. It senses touch. Yeah. Is that better? The priest.
Maybe I'm blessing him.
Does it think you're a priest?
No, I'm not a priest.
He's not a priest.
I work here. I help you.
This is paranoid now. Are you a priest? Are you a priest? He's like, the last time we did this, somebody tried to exorcise me. Shortly after this, we decided to move on and try the cellar. But before we did, Silvio wanted to tell me the story about how the hangers would fly off in the closet and how this has happened on multiple occasions to the point that it scared the hell out of not just him, but some of the servers as well who also witnessed this happening. The ghost stories continued as we headed down into the cellar, and Silvio began to tell me of the story of one time when a priest came and had such an insane reaction the second he stepped into a certain spot of the basement.
That's it. Right there. Hey, move. He moved. He moved. Come here. It was like, oh, move, oh, like,
I could feel it, yeah.
He moved over there, nothing. I said to Rita, Rita, he's okay? The guy's okay? I said, yeah, why? It was like he got electrocuted or something.
talk.
You like wine, Mr. Vail?
What's your drink of choice?
Maybe 17.
17? Lucky 17?
17.
17. Is there a 17 wine? Oh, what's number 17 wine? Oh, that's so funny.
17 what?
The wine, number 17. That's what he's trying to say.
What is it?
Upper right.
On the right, Yep.
That's...
Yeah, you know your wine, Mr. Vail.
He said number 17.
Which lost your record?
There, yep.
You want us to go?
To life offering.
When I talk, he doesn't say nothing.
Is your love?
You're familiar. That's what I say, you're familiar.
Thank
You're a
you.
priest.
Oh, you said the word.
Oh boy. No, Mr. Vail is not.
We're not
No.
a priest.
I'm not a priest. I promise you.
The white collar is deceiving under the black.
Take your
I
tie.
promise
Take
you
your
I'm not a
tie.
priest, man.
Hashtag
I don't go to church since 25 years.
How do you feel when people are down here?
Stai dicendo mi mandate sotto più bottiglia mia? Is this one what you like, sir?
That's it.
That's it.
Maybe you are a priest.
No, don't provoke him. He calls me priest. You say maybe I'm a priest.
After this, we decided to wrap up the investigation at Silvio's. It was getting late in the hour and it was time for us to move on. I'd like to thank Orange County, New York Tourism for connecting me with the people at Silvio's. Special thank you to Frank and Valentina, the owners, for giving me full access here and trusting me with their spirits and to tell their stories. Also want to thank the staff that joined me and Silvio himself. It was a pleasure meeting all of you and interacting with spirits together. What's special about Silvio's Villa is not just how they treat you like family, and of course the love and care they put into their food, their amazing food, might I reiterate, but the classification of spirit here is very much present in the history. You don't see that a whole lot with a lot of buildings. You'll get spirits coming in from all over, and with here I felt that for the most part it was very concise and stuck to the spirits like Roy Vail, who was a very dominant presence here. And he proved it. I highly recommend if you're in the Hudson Valley area, especially in Orange County, New York, where this is located, that you come by, pay your respects to Roy Vail, and maybe even get a coveted spot at one of his tables and enjoy a great meal. On the next episode of Ghost Chaser and the season finale, we're back to the Father Divine house. Stop this.
Please stop making us so cold. We are going to help you.
We're up here, we need help out here.
We know.
Get us. And with the overwhelming and persistent cry of the spirits trapped at this location, I have no choice but to attempt to move them on without being prepared in the heat of the moment and working against an entity that is soul collecting. I demand that you tell me who you are and that I can help you. Do you hear me? To make sure you don't miss it, be sure that you are subscribed to me and you have the bell clicked for alerts. In the meantime, if you haven't liked the video, please do so now. Thank you for joining me on another investigation. Till next time, this is the same witch, same channel, and we'll see you back at a familiar location.